talk about how, unfortunately, the church is not in this conversation,
Right.
right?
The thing that me and Tysean have both come on here and talked about is the church, for example, not being absolute. The church is not, this is what we stand on. This is how it is, like it or don't like it.
Hardly Initiated is in the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think Tony's in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Ace in the conversation. Stefan's in the conversation. The church is not really in that conversation. So the culture is in the conversation.
Roberta's in the conversation. What's up, y'all? It's Coach Roberta, your friendly disruptor and soul coach. Absolute. In order for the church to be absolute on this matter, one would have to go to the Bible for truths on men and women and on relationships to enable the mindset shift required to accept absolute principles given to the church about relationships. And since 75 to 80% of Hardly Initiated audience are women, let's start there. Similarly, the church at large, the body of Christ, has a major ailment because part of the body suffers from a serious chronic injury. That part of the body is its African American sisters. African American Black women are currently the largest uncoupled population in the U.S. This prologue was written in 2014. It's 2023, and the state of relationships have gotten worse. So I started the conversation in 2007 that led to a personal journey and 7 years of research, which subsequently led to a book published in 2014. The intent of my book, How Beautiful Are Your Feet?, was a clarion call to the church and the body of Christ that there was a looming issue. Read with me. State of affairs: when the body has a serious chronic ailment, cancer, or suffers a serious injury, typically we don't or shouldn't just ignore it and hope it goes away. Ailments of this magnitude require more than a topical ointment and a band-aid. So instead, we stop and concentrate on that particular area of the body. Efforts are made to attempt to isolate the condition, prevent it from spreading or affecting other parts of the body, and to treat and heal it. Various parts of the body systems will even start working harder to compensate for what is lacking and or recalibrate to aid the healing process. Similarly, the church at large, the body of Christ, has a major ailment because part of the body suffers from a serious chronic injury. That part of the body is its African American sisters. African American / Black women are currently the largest uncoupled population in the U.S. A significant number of these same young ladies and women sit in church Sunday after Sunday. They are often accompanied by their daughters and sons, so this issue has generational implications. There's nothing wrong with being single, particularly if that's one's personal preference. But companionship or marriage is the very first institution that God established on the earth, can it really be that intangible for African American and Black women? Singleness is not just a status or a stage in life. Singleness is also a state of being. It is in the stage and state of singleness that intensive care is required. And yet, we seem to treat it more like a common code. Just let it run its course. The most common of salves offered to soothe the ailment of countless single women and curious others has become more like a topical ointment or cliche one-liners like, just wait on the Lord, and he that finds a wife finds a good thing. Both of these are usually prescribed with implications of women passively waiting. But Proverbs 13:12 tells us, hope deferred makes the heart sick. So can we, single, married, Black, or non-Black, afford to stick our heads in the sand and presume that this issue doesn't affect the whole body of Christ? Just like in the natural body, if the heart is sick, lack of receiving proper care and treatment affects the whole body. This dis-ease of heart often starts as young as childhood and infiltrates through stages of youth, young adult, and adulthood. Care and preparation for the state of being single requires attention long before the spirit of rejection starts lurking around or tries to settle in. It entails helping them solidify answers to questions like, do they know that they, as females, have an innate distinct sphere of influence? Do they know the purpose of this sphere of influence? Do they know how to leverage their influence? Do they know the rules of engagement? Do they know how they shall marry despite the odds? Do they know the biblical account where God chose someone who looks like them to powerfully demonstrate this sphere of influence? This was published in 2014. Sadly, the state of affairs and relationships among Black men and women have gotten worse. There are countless podcasts currently about the state of relationships, rules of engagement, and a few have asked, where is the church? Thanks for joining this segment of Read With Me. Until next time, beloved, I would that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. This is Coach Roberta, your friendly disruptor and soul coach.